All right, gang. It's 8 o'clock here in the east. I'm actually going to be able to get a show in tonight. Somebody's already tuned in, not sure who it is. Welcome to the welcome to the virus edition. I am holed up in a quarantine city here in the state of Ohio right now. Even though I'm not quarantined, since we think that we're essential, which actually all of us in the trucking industry truly are essential right now, regardless of what anybody thinks. I was still out buying cattle, doing the old whatever thing. Anybody who's on there, go ahead and comment where you are, if you're holed up at home right now or stuck somewhere. Those of you that actually are locked down, for lack of better words, because of possibly being exposed, heart goes out to y'all, thoughts and prayers and all that kind of stuff. So I got 3 viewers here. Now you guys go ahead and comment. Who's ever on here, we'll kick this thing off tonight. Tyler's not going to be joining me because we still haven't got it figured out how to join him in, since the wonderful world of Facebook doesn't allow us to bring anybody on right now. So there's Eric Stone. I do see him in here, plus a couple others. We've been the livestock world has been extremely busy here, as well as the boys pulling the reefer and some of the dry goods folks. So hats off to y'all out here. I understand that the brokers are really getting their fingers involved in this stuff here and really cutting every living daylights out of rates. So might be a good time for cheap rates to go bye-bye and let them really see how important we are out here with what we're doing. I know it's been a tough go here the last few weeks. Shout out to my friend Robert Green. He's finally coming off quarantine. He actually got locked down when he got home. Everybody that was praying for Robert and his wife, thankfully, she pulled through this whole thing. So that's good to hear. He got his release from his doctor today. Sent that letter off to his carrier, so he's going to be back out there. Anybody else that's tuned in right now, give me a comment here where you're at tonight. Be kind of curious to see how it is, and let me know what freight rates you're doing and everything like that. Not a whole lot going on in the cattle world other than cattle are still moving. That way we can keep things supplied and the reefer boys can keep working. The pallet manufacturers and the cardboard people still have a job. I know that some of the plants had to shut down because of possible contamination and what have you. So, kind of a tough time. Nobody saw this coming, I guess, until it really happened. I know, for speaking for myself and some of the guys that I talk to on a regular basis, nobody that served this country, as far as in the military, ever dreamed something like this would happen, as far as just a total takeover. There's Jim Sigler, neighbor of mine. He's 10 minutes from the barn, which puts him about 5 minutes from my house. So glad you made it back from Alabama. All right. Anybody else who's out there tuned in, let me know where you're at, what you're seeing. I do know that it's kind of nice out here on the road right now. Road rage is probably at an all-time record low right now. Oh, there's Christine Arnold. She is about to cook up some Evans meat, which that's actually who I work for. So anybody who's tuned in tonight, thanks for buying any meat from the people that we in the neighborhood. I want to thank you guys for helping support us as well. Christine, just don't overcook it. That's pretty low fat right there. Jeremy's just pulling out of the house. Jeremy Jansen, the top dog over at Pure Country Livestock. He's just pulling out of the driveway, and Jim Sigler's pulling in. There's Adam Stump. I guess he's out chasing cattle or something. And for those of you that follow me on my, well, it's not my personal page, it's my off-colored page, for lack of better words. Thanks to Jeremy last week, I set out on my normal mission, and those of you that know me and some of the gang that I've been hanging around with for a long time, we really like to jab and poke at each other. And I was riding down the road, and I'm going to poke at myself right now. Jeremy's going to probably fall out of the truck laughing, so hang on to the steering wheel. But anyway, last week I pulled out of the barn, and I was bouncing down the interstate. I was actually out in a 1-ton and a gooseneck the first part of the week doing my deal. I had to go clean out one of our barns. Because we kind of lost one of our markets temporarily. But anyway, I'm rolling down the road, bouncing around, and there's this clanging in the background. It wasn't rhythmic, it was just a banging and clanging back there. And Jeremy said, "What in the world is that noise?" Well, unbeknownst to anybody else, including Jeremy, I had a semen tank in the back seat of the pickup filled with nitrogen. That's how we transport semen for AI and cattle and hogs and what have you. But I was transporting a nitrogen can that I was, the plan was when I got through on my East Coast stuff I was working on gathering and buying and everything, I brought that nitrogen can with me so I could stop and pick up this year's stock, for lack of better words, because it is that time of the year for us to be AIing. And for those of you that aren't aware of what AIing is, it's artificially inseminating cattle. That way they calve in about 9 or 10 months, right in that kind of ballpark. So, we shoot for January, February birthing. So I had the can with me in the back, loaded with nitrogen, and it's got drop down type of containers, so everything stays kind of submerged in the bottom of the can, so the semen doesn't spoil, get hot, and all that stuff thaw out. Well, anyway, it's back there rattling and clanging, and of course, Jeremy, being who he is, he had to hammer on me a little bit about my semen cans back there leaking, and he had known that I had just come from the urologist, so we kind of had a good laugh about that. People were really picking on me about that one. So I've got the can back in the truck right now. This time it's full. It's not rattling like it was. Finally figured out what was causing it. One of the containers that was dropped down in there actually had fallen down and was riding on top of another one. So thank goodness we got that rattling and clanging and banging done. So anyway, tomorrow's off on another misadventure, out playing around somewhere in the hills of close to the house, playing with some pretty good sized bulls and what have you. And I guess I found out that it's mama cow and feeder calf, or not feeders, but cow calf pair moving week this week as well. So that should be a misadventure. It's unfortunate. I don't know if Tyler Bell to go with me. I could probably use the help with what we're going to be playing with. So nothing like trying to split mamas off their babies and mamas up to try to get them loaded on a trailer so we can get them safely moved down the road. So we'll see how that goes. Tomorrow is bull transport day off of another one of our farms, so that should be a lot of fun as a cantankerous 2,000-pound boy with attitude. But anybody else who's tuned in, let me know where you're at. I know Adam's probably kind of right in the middle of what we're getting ready to do, getting things synced up so we can be kicking some of those beautiful calves out again. Probably tomorrow on Chrome and Steel, I'm going to throw some pictures up of some of the calves and what have you that's out there for those of you that like puppies or doggies, however you want to refer to it. I've got a good friend that sends me puppy pictures and different stuff like that. Finally realized, wait a minute, puppies don't do it. It's calves that are my kind of puppies, and those of us that are farm boys and appreciate the critters, baby calf to us is kind of like puppies to other people. So anyway, hats off to all you out there trying to make a living right now, the extreme conditions, for lack of better words, with already having to deal with kind of limited on where we can get food. I know I've heard of instances of some of the drive-through places are kind of frowning upon people going through the drive-throughs. Well, a friend of mine figured out a way to wiggle a 32-foot gooseneck behind a 1-ton through a drive-through at Wendy's, but he couldn't get close enough to the squawk box to get it to set off to order, so he just went ahead and drove up to the drive-up window, and they gave him a pretty hard way to go, and he says, well, I'm here. I'm not moving till you get my food. So he kind of had a good time with that. So hats off to all the restaurants out there across America that are actually out there trying to take care of us as drivers so we can get at least some kind of meal, even if it's fast food. Also, shout out to the state of Nebraska. I guess there's somewhere around the mile marker, 320, 321 mile marker, out in Nebraska, the Patriot Guard was set up out in the rest area out there, actually handing out boxed lunches and food to truck drivers and law enforcement that were coming through there. So, don't be afraid to thank them people out there that are, getting those of us out there on the road, giving us a decent meal like that. It goes a long ways. I got to say a big thank you. A friend of mine brought me supper tonight up here where I'm at, so it was kind of nice to get another home cooked meal this week, even though it's only Monday, but really hit the spot. So, those of you that are out there doing that kind of stuff for us as drivers, you don't know how much it's appreciated, and how much we really appreciate that. And don't forget law enforcement and our medical people out there laying it all on the line. Everybody's pretty much at an equal risk when it comes to that. A welcome thing that's gone is traffic. Man, when you can go through a metropolitan area and never touch the brakes. Last week, end of the week, I was out in a big truck picking up a few loads of cattle, getting them back to where they needed to go. And actually only ran into one really bad instance. I had a law enforcement officer decide he was in a hurry, no lights or nothing, ran a red light, and then ran about 10 to 15 miles an hour under the posted speed limit, slammed on his brakes, hit the shoulder. I eased on by him, and he decided to jump back in behind me. Not only did I have to jam on the brakes once, but I had to do it twice for an unexpected automobile, for lack of better words. It would have been a whole other ballgame if he'd have flipped the lights on or whatever, but I don't know what in the world he was thinking. And he went about, quarter, half a mile and then decided to turn off. So whatever that was all about, it sure didn't make me real happy. I could hear the girls back there banging and bouncing around. Thank goodness when I got back to the unload point, everybody was still on their feet. So, and I think I don't remember who I was talking to, but of course I couldn't buy a stoplight after that. Everything that I come up on turned red at the last second, so kind of made for a rather interesting ride. And I don't know, what people are out here on the roads absolutely blow my mind, and I'm sure some of the rest of you that are tuned in are kind of feeling the same way. I see Danny Paxton just tuned in here from down in Brookville, Indiana. I think he's hauling either goats or lambs or a combination of the two. He and Dustin Howard, I don't know, they got a long-standing thing about their sheep and goats. So I don't know what that's all about. Someday maybe they'll enlighten me on that thing. Just not quite right here. I guess we got to do something to break up the monotony. So anyway, we got a few people tuned in here. Please comment on where everybody's at. I'm sure Danny's probably still moving grain, trying to get the grain bins emptied out. Be on the lookout out here too on the roads. Farmers are starting to stir quite a bit out here in central Ohio, trying to get in the fields. I know out in Illinois, another friend of mine, he's in the field. Who knows, some of these guys might already be dropping seeds in the ground. So, and there is Robert Greene, recently released from Corona hell, or Corona quarantine hell. Glad to see you're back out here tomorrow, Robert. I guess you're going to be back out tomorrow. He was waiting on dispatch today, so I guess he had to go through a little bit of a rigmarole to get a letter from his doctor to be released, even though he wasn't actually hospitalized or anything, so big sigh of relief for him and his wife that nothing happened. So I know Robert's just been jonesing to get back out here on the road, for lack of better words. So anybody else that's out there that's been cooped up, let me know what your antics were, or what you've had to contend with while you're where are you? I don't know if you're still at home, or if you Robert, or if you ended up going where you thought you were going to go and headed to New England. I know you had mentioned to me about that. So, anybody who's traveling up into that part of the world, make sure. Hey, anybody who's out here, hit Robert Greene up. He's a good friend of Chrome and Steel Radio. Hit him up on Facebook and get his mailing address. He said he's out of crayons. He's eating every one of them in the house. So I think we need to, maybe get him the big crayon so he's got something to chew on. He's probably going to need them. I guess he's still stuck at home. So it was there. I had to say it. I was also kind of looking around at some of the trucking pages out there, and I noticed that Vermont and New Hampshire have closed all their showers now to drivers. So anybody who's traveling up into that part of the world, I mean, not like there's a whole lot of truck stops up there, but still, just the fact of closing showers down. Come on, people. You know, I'm sure they still have running water at their house and electricity and everything else. There's another friend of Chrome and Steel there. Thanks a lot for tuning in, Kendall. I'm still waiting on you to show up there for your birthday drink. I offered, you never showed up, so those invites don't happen too often. Anybody else out there got a birthday they've had, or anybody they want to give a shout out to? We'll gladly do that as well. Tyler's been slaving away with school being out. He's playing cowhand right now. They're getting ready to get in the field and start dropping some seeds as well. So he's not dealing with this whole thing. He's getting better with it. I know it was stressing him out quite a bit. He's basically lost his last quarter. The last quarter of his senior, that's kind of the high point of everybody's school days. I know I wouldn't know what I would have done if that would have happened. I'm sure a lot of you all are in the same boat, to just basically have the last quarter of your high school year, even if we were ready to leave. But, that's proms and, even graduations are up in the air. So, kind of keep all them kids that have now been thrust into adulthood, kind of keep them in your thoughts and everything else. During this time, big adjustment for them. I know there's enough fear in their life leaving high school of, oh, great, now I'm an adult. I'm going to start fending for myself some more. Real life problems are starting to come up. So anyway, hello, Melissa Hatfield. Where are you guys at tonight? And how's the flatbed going? I know you guys have been staying with it pretty steady there. Thanks for the kind words there, Kendall. It means a lot hearing those kind of compliments. So anyway, we've moved what's that? Oh yeah, they all need to go to school and say that's their senior prank. Yeah, it's kind of funny. It was probably everybody else has been seeing this too, as far as senior pranks and senior skip days. This definitely turned into a backfire deal for all the seniors. Decided, hey, let's have a skip day, see how long we can make it last. Well, now they're all grounded, I guess is a good way to put it. Grounded with homework. What a great deal. So Jeremy just piped up right here too. They're talking June, July graduations for Northeast Nebraska. Tyler's graduation is still on track. They're in West Central Ohio, I believe. They've still got it. They've still got it slated for early June. So, Melissa Hatfield is in Odessa, Texas. They're pulling Conestoga loads right here, air conditioning stuff. Going to a portable hospital in Arizona. Melissa, if you could send me some pictures of that, we'll get it shared once you guys get out there. If they've got anything set up or whatever, it'd be kind of great. You're one of the first people I've actually heard of pulling a true relief load, other than just essential goods and everything like that. So if you can get some pictures of the portable hospital, if you can get some pictures of the inside of it, that's what I'd like to see, what it really looks like. Hopefully it's not another one of them Wuhan hospitals that I pardon me for that temporary glitch. I don't know what happened. I lost my connection for a second. So hopefully we're all back here. But anyway, yeah, it'd be kind of neat to see something like that. A portable hospital. I'm guessing it may be something like a MASH type setup, but more of a civilian hospital or whatever. It'd be kind of interesting to see how that's set up. I know there's one set up in Central Park. I think Samaritan's Purse out of North or South Carolina, tied in with the Billy Graham type of deal. They've got field hospital set up in Central Park. It was kind of interesting seeing video of that and what they're doing for the people in New York down in the city there. So it's kind of humorous too. Today I was out, grabbed myself a cup of coffee before I hit the road to head up into where I needed to go. Needed a little bit of a kick of caffeine and get out. And there's a truck driver there, and there's obviously some blue collar folks, kind of doing what they were doing. And I see this Volkswagen SUV park over on the side, got California plates. I didn't think nothing of it. And out jump two Valley boys is all I'm going to say. I don't know. I actually asked the one, I said, so how essential are you guys here? What's essential about wearing flip-flops, gym shorts, and a t-shirt? Oh, we're just moving to this area. I'm from Manhattan. And I said, why don't you just go back where you came from? Oh, no, I've lived in Ohio for a while. And I said, you're from Manhattan and your buddy's from California? Let me get through this store here. Don't trust that deal at all. I was scratching my head with that one. I don't know how essential somebody could be running around in flip-flops and gym shorts, but evidently maybe they were some kind of health instructors or something. I have no idea. It kind of blew my mind. Robert's going to be doing a true relief load also. He's headed down to Atlanta. So, Robert, if you can snag some pictures of that, it'd be great to, send those to, message it to Chrome and Steel or message it to me, Jerry Novak, any kind of, on my messenger. Look me up and message me pictures if you've taken any relief loads here, and we'll get it shared, give you a shout out, as well as if you want to give your carrier a shout out and what have you like that. Hopefully the rates are reflecting what they are. I know I've seen tale of some rates that are just absolutely stupid rates that go clear back into the early to mid 90s, 89 cents a mile for freight. They don't even pay the fuel hard. Well, it will right now, but still, it doesn't leave anything left on the bone, or any meat left on the bone for owner-operators. So, we need to make sure we tell these brokers to leave it alone, which leads me to this right now. We picked up a new sponsor here at Chrome and Steel outside the Davy Crockett Travel Center down at exit 36 there on I-81 in Tennessee. So if you're down in that area, make sure you stop in and see them. They got the Blue Plate Diner open for carry out. You can't sit down at the picnic table, but make sure you stop in there. Tell them Chrome and Steel sent you. They're a big supporter of us with everything that we're doing here to try to get some more format. We're working on some more things for Chrome and Steel, some more hosts, and bring you some other maybe 10 or 15 minute snippets of some other people that are going to come on. I know we're trying to get something set up with some different guys here, just to life on the road or the Corona world or whatever you want to call it. Also, the other sponsor, new one that we just picked up. Make sure you check out Right Load, RITE Load. Matt Kane has got it's kind of a dispatch service going on. It's very, very, Right Load, RIGHT load.com. Go and check them out, and make sure you let Matthew know that you found out about them from Chrome and Steel. They're not a brokerage board. He actually vets all of his customers as far as ability to pay, as far as their credit rating, before he even allows them to post a load as far as a shipper. They're going to be reputable, and it's going to be loads to where guys can actually make a living off of it instead of just another cheap load board. Another load board out there that's just cheap. So he's not a broker. He's actually kind of working as a dispatch service. So go check out Matthew Kane's deal. Also, he's out in the Willow Grove, Pennsylvania area, and he had mentioned also, if you're out in that area and need somewhere to park, to message him. He's got some truck parking. I believe he put some porta-johns up, and he can arrange. He's got some local restaurants and what have you, I think, in that area as well, to get food delivered out to you. You can get in touch with the right people out there. So, just another guy trying to eke out a living. And from what I understand, I haven't actually checked out his site. He's treating guys really well on as far as charging for a load, for lack of a better word. So go in and check it out. I don't want to say anything about what he's charging per load or anything like that on that dispatch service, but it's very, very economical from what I've been told from some other guides. So like I said, check out rightload.com and help out another small business guy, for lack of better words. He's trying to keep money in y'all's pockets. And also, he's, from what I understand, when he sets up carriers, naturally he's going to look at CSA scores, pull all that stuff up too, and it's kind of going to be a three strikes and you're out type of scenario as well. I was correct the first time. Spell check got Robert Green on that one. First time he sent it. It is RITE load.com. That's RITELOAD.com. But anyway, I believe he's got a three strikes and you're out as a carrier also. If you go into his website, book a load, and then see another load on that website, I think you only get one strike on this deal. Book a load, take it from a customer, you agree to the rate and you book it, and then you cancel that and take another one off that load board setup deal. He's for more money, you're going to be gone. I don't know if it's once or if you get three strikes on that deal. I mean, he's trying to treat people right. He's trying to take care of customers as well as take care of the drivers to keep as much money in your pocket. So make sure you check him out, see what you can come up with, and tell him Chrome and Steel heard about him on Chrome and Steel. He's a stand-up guy. I follow him on Facebook and everything, and he's actually a pretty decent guy. Not out there trying to be some mega broker or what have you. So, as things grow for him on both sides of it, he'll actually be keeping money in y'all's pockets. So, that's what it's all about out here anyways, us working together, not working for or against anybody. It's what can we do together to make the industry stronger, get it back to what it used to be. So, and on that note of the way it used to be, one thing I've really picked up on here lately is drivers are starting to see a little bit of the old brotherhood come back. I don't know if anybody else is seeing that. You actually pass somebody, they'll actually wave to you or acknowledge you in a parking lot as you walk through. I know when I got parked up tonight, I'm actually staying in a hotel tonight. I parked around back in the parking lot, and there was a couple of trucks back there, and guys were sitting back there chewing the fat and really got into some pretty good conversations. And it kind of like the back row at the truck stops used to be. And instead of what it is today, guys are more wrapped up in their video games. Guys are actually taking time to compare stories and shoot the breeze and be like it used to be. And this is a good opportunity for us to maybe look out for each other, make a few friends, and really just kind of get the brotherhood back. Those of us that are still out here doing the deal, it is what it is. We're all trying to eke out a living, I guess is a good way to put it. So don't be bashful. Maybe strike up a conversation. You might have more in common with that guy than what you realize. A couple of them were hot shotters pulling 3-car car trailers for, I think they work for Roush or something like that. I'm guessing they were doing some performance, getting vehicles to go back to Roush Industries or whatever, doing building those performance SUVs, Mustangs, and what have you. They had Equinoxes or something like that on their Traverses, probably going in to get a little bit of custom work done, I'm guessing. So anyway, I guess big thing is, just make sure you're kind of keeping your distance, not spitting on each other or spitting at each other and whatever else some of these guys do. Be courteous to those that are out here, not leaving a mess for everybody else too. Right now is an opportunity for us to shine as an industry, until they start crapping on us again, and it'll happen. Once this is all over with, we're going to be forgotten about, and it'll be back to business as usual, which some people, business as usual is they're acting the same way they did before. It's just we're not seeing near the volume of them. So, but anyway, it's 8:30 here on the East Coast time. But figured I'd jump on here tonight, throw something up here. I know it's been a while. I haven't been doing it a whole lot because of our work schedule and things that I've been doing, putting in a lot of extremely long days, for lack of a better word. So anyway, I'm going to bail off of here. Everybody be safe out there. Those of you that are still tuned in, stay safe out there on the road. Like I said, get some pictures to me of any of these relief loads or anything that y'all are doing. Get a message to me, and we'll throw some stuff together here in Chrome and Steel, and that way everybody kind of see what else is going on. And for those of you that are cooped up at home or decide to park it for a little while, enjoy your time off, if you want to call it enjoying it right now. And we'll still be here when this is all over with, and hopefully we'll be stronger than ever as far as a nation and as well as an industry. And those of you that aren't truck drivers that are tuned in, thank you guys for supporting us as drivers and doing what you can. So, and a big, 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 big thank you to all those volunteers that are doing things in the rest areas, the restaurants that are offering discounts for truck drivers, and people that have volunteered their time to drop off a home-cooked meal or something like that to a driver. It's just, it goes a long ways, it makes you feel appreciated. So anyway, y'all have a good night, be safe, and take care. We'll see you next week.